Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Zoo Adventures. It's so good that you're with us again today on our Mondays or Wednesdays or whenever this is airing, because this one is taped. We're taking you back to the grizzly bear habitat. Have something really cool to share with you today. For your Zoo Adventures team today, Steve's in front of the camera, Leslie's behind.
Hey, everybody!
I'm sure you heard her.
I'm loud.
She's loud. By her own admission, she's loud. So we're walking around trying to find Curtis over at the grizzly bear habitat here at the North Carolina Zoo. Leslie promised she could walk backwards.
All right.
I'm not going to tell her about the log I put over it. No, I didn't do that. That would not be cool. Well, that was, it is what it is. So, yeah, you guys really seem to enjoy the grizzly bears, so we wanted to share them with you again. Talk a little bit about their winter care. Talk about this brown bear, grizzly bear difference. And then end with something really special. This is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. And Curtis is here. I knew we'd find him somewhere up here.
Yeah, but he's somewhere else.
So we have Curtis out here. How you doing today, Curtis?
Pretty good. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well. Say hi to the team that's watching.
Hello.
You know Leslie, all right? Ready?
Yes,
right? You
I
knew
know
Leslie already? Leslie, you know Curtis?
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure we
Good to see you again.
get all the introductions going.
I mean,
Look,
we haven't seen a lot of people in a long time
That's
because
true,
we're working
too.
from home a lot or doing all these other things.
that is true. Well, Curtis, we came to talk to you, but why are there other people in there?
Currently, they're putting out Tomo's breakfast and some enrichment for him right now.
Oh, so they're okay to be in there?
Yeah, they're okay.
Those will make sure.
Yeah, Tomo's not out there right now. So.
Tomo's not out there. That's a good thing. So let's see, we have Keeper Chris, Animal Management Supervisor here, and then Keeper Natalie, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So it's good to have those guys here. And what are they doing?
So Natalie, currently right down in front of us, is loading up an enrichment item. So she's putting his food in there, so Tomo will have to work to get it out. Chris also put out a piece of fire hose out there that we got from our elephant team, so it should smell like elephants.
That looks like a really big caterpillar.
Basically, yeah.
Leslie, look at the caterpillar over there.
I gotta find it. Hold on.
Use those keen observation skills.
It's hard when you're looking at the camera trying to find things.
Look at that. And you said that's fire hose.
Yeah, so we actually got donations from local fire departments, and
No
they're bringing them in.
kidding. And it's repurposed material. Oh, one of the things we do here at the zoo, let's try it again. It's cold, my mouth isn't working. We repurpose stuff, we kind of upcycle. So fire hose being used as animal enrichment, a little upcycling there.
Yeah.
So, and you said it smells like what?
Our elephants.
That smells like your elephants.
Yeah, so the elephant team actually built it and gave it to their elephants for a while, and then it started to not be good enough for them, so we took it.
Really?
Yeah.
And he likes the smell. I guess I shouldn't say likes here. It's just another smell that's out there, and it's kind of, he can investigate it.
Yeah.
And this thing that Natalie was filling up, that's full of food and treats. He has to figure out how to get the food out of it?
Yeah, so he'll have to manipulate the barrel there to work the food out of it, out of the holes and stuff in there.
Very cool.
I see some carrots.
I agree.
Some chow, some sweet potato.
Yeah. So every day Tomo gets an omnivore chow, which is that kind of like chow looking dog food
like
stuff.
The kibble?
There. Like the kibble.
Okay.
He gets carrots, oranges, sweet potatoes, apples, a head of lettuce, and meat and fish every day.
What an omnivore diet.
Wow. You're a sciencey person. All right, the sciencey Leslie. You use the term. What does it mean?
Well, if we could tell from everything that Curtis just said.
And let's get him to repeat it real quick.
Okay.
What's in there? What's in his diet?
Omnivore chow, carrots, sweet potato, oranges, apples, meat, and fish.
So I hear both vegetables, fruit, and meat, which means
He's
everything, and he's an omnivore.
He's omnivore. I love that.
Oh, here he is.
Where? I don't see anything. There's a pole in front of me, Leslie. Leslie. Oh, okay. So this is amazing. Let's see what he's going to get into first. Can you introduce our wonderful guest here?
So this is Tomo. He is our 31-year-old grizzly bear.
31. Still nothing older than me here.
Maybe someday.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Hope, right?
There you go. So Tomo, a 31-year-old bear. And may I ask where he came from?
He actually is a rescue from Yellowstone.
Look at that.
Holy goodness.
That's so cool. Are you on that, Leslie?
I sure am.
Awesome. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Curtis. A rescue from Yellowstone, you said?
Yes.
Very neat. And what would a rescue from Yellowstone be? Was he a bear that was kind of getting into things he shouldn't get into?
Exactly. So
Okay.
he's something called a nuisance bear.
A nuisance bear.
Yep. He figured out campsites, trash cans, all that type of stuff were food sources. So he started investigating them more often than he should.
Right. So he figured out people equals food.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's wonderful that he was able to come here and hang out at the North Carolina Zoo, and I know the care you guys provide are this utmost. You can look throughout the entire habitat, all the really cool stuff. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about winter care for a second, because I know in the summer if we did this, he'd be all over that barrel.
Yeah.
He'd be knocking it over and pushing it and getting all the food out. But right now he's like, yeah, whatevs.
Yeah.
Well, how come?
So this time of year, bears are very sleepy. They tend to want to hibernate. They want to sleep a lot. They're not too hungry. So
Okay.
here at the zoo, we still feed Tomo so he doesn't go into a full hibernation like you're going to see out in the
so he's not going
wild.
to full sleep.
Yeah, so he's still going to want to eat, but he's going to eat sparingly. He's not going to be too excited about it.
Right.
And he's still going to sleep a lot.
Okay. The treat you're going to share with us a little later, you think he's going to get involved in that, though, right?
I think so.
All
yeah.
right.
I'm
going to hold you on that a little bit.
We got some more exciting things for him
Oh,
now, so.
very good. Yeah, that'll work. I love it. The new space. We were lucky enough. You guys invited us out to share the space. We got to go inside and kind of share what's going on.
Yeah.
How's Tomo doing with his new home?
He is very excited about it.
Is he?
Yeah, so he's been very happy to be out here. He spends a lot of time actually up near the glass. Actually, at first he was a little scared of the glass.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, it's something new, and he wasn't quite sure.
Oh,
It's kind of
okay.
funny he'd do these like drive-bys.
People here?
But since then, he's actually really calmed down, and he's really enjoyed the new space for him.
Okay, it's neat to see him this close. Leslie's getting some amazing shots here, and to know that he's that close and he's comfortable, and because there's still a lot of action in through the glass, and he's like, yeah, whatever, okay, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I get it. That's neat. What about the water feature? Does he seem to still enjoy the water?
Oh yeah, that's one of his favorite things.
Is it?
During the summer, he still spends a whole lot of time out there. Even in the winter, you're going to catch him out there a few times.
Really?
I've actually seen him break through ice to get into the pool.
Wait. He broke through ice to get into the water?
Yep, it was ice. So behind the scenes, we have a small pool for him. It was like 3-4 inches of ice on top of it. I tried to break it open, couldn't get it in.
Really?
Went out a few hours later, and he's sitting in it like a big giant hot tub, except for it's frozen.
Well, it's his hot
Yeah.
tub.
Okay.
That's great. Looks like he's got a little bit of here stuff going on in these ways. So that's kind of cool if they put the thing, and is this kind of like, we've used the term puzzle feeder before.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like a puzzle feeder? I've got to move it, got to manipulate this as a type of enrichment?
Yeah, this is a type of puzzle feeder that we will give Tomo. We have a whole bunch of different kinds, and this is just
really?
one version of it.
Neat. So what would another, just because you said it, what would another type of puzzle feeder look like?
So we have some that are built out of PVC, so they're just pieces
Okay.
of PVC pipe, and we've structured them in different ways so that they move a little bit differently, so we
Oh,
have to
neat.
work them
Okay.
differently. We've also have big giant barrels, so your big like 50-gallon drums that'll have little tiny holes. We also
Okay.
have this thing called the pill, which looks like a little pill.
Right.
And it's shaped a little bit differently, so you have to maneuver it a little bit different.
That's so cool.
So they're all different shapes and sizes and different size holes and different kinds of holes. And that's
Gotcha.
what makes them a little different.
And what we've learned from the keepers and from all the amazing guys that we've been able to talk to, that enrichment, those activities that are kind of designed to encourage this behavior, are there to do just that, to encourage a natural type of behavior. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is kind of a foraging behavior, kind of problem solving and trying to find food.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bears in the wild spend a majority of their time searching for food. So for us, this is a
Okay.
really important one for grizzly bears because they
Got
spend
you.
so much time looking for food.
Well, that makes perfect sense. That is so cool. So give me a little personality on Tomo since he's here. Give me a little personality on Tomo. If you had to write up his bio,
Yeah.
since you work with him so much, I didn't want to quite go there because he's not dating
That's
anybody
true,
at
he's not
31 right
dating
now. Animals have those types of personalities. How would you kind of describe Tomo?
I've always considered Tomo as the goofy bear.
The goofy one.
Yeah, so we catch him doing all these just kind of ridiculous things all the
I
time.
love it.
playing with that fire hose and just throwing it in the air, grabbing branches and just tossing them around, rolling into all kinds of different things, just doing all these goofy looking things. You find him just like holding his back paw a lot, just like up in the air. Yeah. So I've always considered him as like this big goofy.
He's the big old goofy bear. And I think that's cool. And I think, people talk about that sometimes. We do the same thing with our pets at home, right? Tomo's in no way a pet. These guys don't even think about that. But the relationship you guys build, you're working with Tomo hours a day.
Yeah.
That relationship, that bond that you're building with them, of course those types of personality traits are going to come through. And that's something I think was important for people to hear. No, he's not a pet. No, you don't go in there. And no, you're not treating him that way at all. But that relationship building that happens over time, you begin to pull out some of those personality traits. You kind of get that fun engagement and build that amazing relationship with the animal.
Exactly.
I think that's so cool. This is an unfair question. I didn't prep you for this one. Weight?
Last weight we got, he should weigh right around 750 pounds.
750 pounds.
It's been a little bit since we've got a weight on him.
Wow.
But yeah.
And is that a max weight, or I guess the max weight's probably a little bit earlier in the fall, huh?
So actually, right about now is about the time his max weight is for us, anyway. Out in the wild, you're gonna see it more that late fall, early winter.
Okay, gotcha.
But since we feed him year round, it's a little bit different.
Still there. So I was almost right.
So he will start losing weight here quickly. Like we just lowered his diet because he's not eating a whole lot. So he's gonna start losing weight here, and he'll drop down. Usually drops down to somewhere between 650 and 700 pounds.
Oh, so this is significant for him. Let's look in the habitat real quick, Leslie. I want to ask Curtis, since we have him here, which is awesome. I see the little cave structure. Can you get that, Leslie? What's that? Is that literally what it is? Kind of a cave structure for him to get out of the sun, kind of just relax and have darkness around him?
Yeah, so it helps protect him from the sun, rain, all that type of stuff, and it's also where he built his giant nest bed.
He builds a nest bed?
Yep.
That would be giant.
I've seen him do it, and
have you?
It is so cute.
No kidding.
Because there was once, I'm going to use the camera, but kind of right where these rocks are, these rocks are, the keepers had put out substrate for him, and he was just slowly gathering it.
That's cool.
And moving it back, and it was really neat to see.
All right, so that's one form of environmental enrichment over there, but you didn't have to add. And we have to show them the waterfall. Because I know he likes the waterfall.
Oh, he loves the waterfall.
Yeah, who doesn't love a waterfall? Digital guests, thumbs up if you like a waterfall. Remember, this episode is taped. So we have a couple things that we want to share with you. But third, we have people there answering your questions. I might be there answering your questions as we speak right now. But we want to make sure you guys are aware that the fact that it is taped. And remember to check out the Adventures in Ed Zoocation page. There's crafts and activities all through there. And I know there's some about brown bears because we've done them before. So check those pages out. And I love the waterfall. And I know he likes the waterfall a lot too. And then the water feature, of course, that's over there. I know Leslie was showing you that a second ago.
That's where you're talking about where he hit the ice and got in?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. That one's nice thin layer of ice, and he just went right through it.
Well, right through it.
And then the waterfall, during the summer, he loves to just sleep in the waterfall.
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
Curl up into it and let it fall on him. So.
Oh, man, he's getting a little aggressive with it. There's more food in there. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it all. So, I see one other thing over there, which is kind of cool. And Leslie, can you see it from where you are? There's a day bed. There's a big tire. I don't know what it is. That's covered in what looks like fire hose again.
Exactly. So it's a big tractor tire that we've put some mesh fire hose onto.
Okay.
And it acts like a little bed for him.
Oh, it does. Mm-hmm. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Not a trampoline.
No, not a trampoline. No. Luckily, otherwise you try to jump out, and we don't want that.
We don't want that. Yeah. We like our personal guests. We like our digital guests.
Yeah.
And we love Tomo as well. We don't want anything crazy going on with Tomo.
So that's just a giant bed for him, and he likes to. You think of your dog curling up in a tight little ball,
right?
That's what he will do inside of it.
No kidding. So this amazing bear stuff, which is really kind of cool. Well, we got a couple other things that we want to do real quick with bears in general. I need to go grab some stuff, so we'll be right back. All right, now I had to buy a fact. All right, Leslie, I'm ready. Leslie!
Look, he has a little leaf.
Leslie!
On his back.
Curtis and I have things to talk about. Are you still there?
Oh, whoa.
Digital guest, are you there?
Let me.
That's how we roll. All right. Welcome back to your zoo adventure. Remember, this is taped. That's why we say welcome back, so you guys know where they're here. Oh, now you're going to come up and be cute.
Yeah. Don't worry, I got you all in the frame.
You got us all in the frame?
Yeah.
Awesome. You just have to watch the bear. I mean, come on.
Biofacts.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Biofacts.
Yeah.
So so we talk about bears, and we talk about grizzly bears, and brown bears.
Yeah.
And Kodiak bears.
Yeah.
Are they the same thing?
Basically. So they're all brown bears.
So brown bear is the generic term, the correct kind of broad term.
Yes.
Okay. And then grizzly bears are different.
They're a little bit different.
In what way?
So grizzlies are a little bit smaller than like your Kodiaks and your Alaskan
So
coastals.
grizzlies are a little smaller. Okay.
They also are less fluffy. That's what I like to say it.
Fluffy.
So because of where these guys are normally found, like Yellowstone area,
okay,
it doesn't get as cold as like your Kodiak bears who live up in Alaska.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little bit bigger. They're going to have a little bit more fluff, so they can withstand that really cold temperature.
Nice, got you. And I've heard, I don't know if this is true, you cut me off if this is true or not. I've heard that grizzly bears sometimes kind of have more of a defined hump on their shoulders, and it's from the fact that they're digging so much. They're looking for grubs, they're looking for food, and they're actually digging, literally building up a muscle. Is that true?
Yes.
Who knows? That's kind of cool. So there is a difference, but they're all brown bears.
Yep.
So they're all types of brown bears. Got you. And the Kodiak is the biggest. I used to live in Alaska about 117,000 years ago. They are huge bears. They're massive, which is kind of neat to think about. But they're eating salmon and fish, and they just grow huge sizes. So it's kind of neat. So they have the Kodiak is the biggest. Brown bear, the general term for all of them, but it still identifies a type of bear.
Yep.
And then the grizzlies.
Yes.
Cool. What kind of skull is this?
That is supposed to be a brown bear right there. I would guess a Kodiak.
It is
how
big, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
That's cool. Would you mind holding that just for a second?
I can hold that.
Hold them up. Look at that, guys. I mean, it's almost as big as my head.
A little bigger.
And I think one of the cool things is, remember what kind of vor they were. The omnomnomivore, as Leslie likes to call them, eating everything, right? They're eating both plants and animals. So they have these cutting and killing teeth up here, but those grinding teeth in the back of the skull, those molars, those grinding molars, and that's what begins to define them as omnivores. That helps them take on all those different types of diet foods that they munch on. Because in the wild, their diet is very similar to what you were mentioning earlier. It's a lot of veggies, a lot of plant material, and then whatever meat they can come across. And that is a huge, huge skull.
You know what else is huge on the skull?
What?
That big old nose.
It is a big old nose.
Look at it. It's huge.
Awesome sense of smell, as you might imagine. Tracking down their prey items and stuff. And don't pay attention to them. I understand that it's broken, but that's okay. You get the idea.
Is this real?
Is this real?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kurt, is this real?
I don't think so.
I don't think it is either. No, it's not real. This is one we bought.
You think correct.
Bones, clones, and Skulls Unlimited. Thank you very much for providing those. Not we had to buy them, but they're there and available for us. All right. The other thing I share, and this is my bias.
Yeah.
Because I love sharing claws. I love sharing the claws about the bears. And we always make the guest guess. Guess. That's hard to say. All right, guys. You've done it before. Let's do it again. Curtis is like, do I really have to hold them up? But yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I've got them up here.
We have 3 different types of bears in North America. We have the American black bear, the brown bear, again, different types of bears in there, but we're going to call it a brown bear in general, and the polar bear, that beautiful white icon of the far, far north. Give you a little hint. Polar bears' claws are used less for gathering food and more for traction and for digging. The black bear claw is kind of like a multi-tool for animals. They use it to climb, to dig, to shred, to find food, to get around their habitat. And the brown bear claw is often used to dig, to find small crevices, and sometimes to grab fish. Dun, 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 dun. So which one Yeah, I don't know how to number. I don't know how to number them. How are they looking at them, Leslie? Can they?
I would say 1, 2. This is very hard to do. Looking at 3.
So this is claw 1. This is claw 2. This is claw 3. Polar bear. 1, 2, or 3. Polar bear. We'll do them again. Here's 1. Here's 2. And there's 3. Polar bear. Dun, 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 dun. Leslie, show them polar bear.
This one.
Number 1. Polar bear claw. Short, stubby, more for traction on the snow and the ice. Digging through, punching through. And then ultimately grabbing prey if they need it. So that was claw number 1. Which one is the brown bear? You've had time to think about it. The brown bear, again, for digging into getting a small crevices, sometimes looking at small prey, believe it or not. They're looking at bugs and grubs and worms and caterpillars and stuff along those lines. But it's also used as like a fisher to catch fish. They are a large bear, and it's used for digging and getting into other materials. Which one is the brown bear claw? Leslie, show them the brown bear claw.
Ding, 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 ding.
This one. And then finally, the black bear claw. It's much smaller. The bear is small in general. They can climb with it. The other animals don't climb so much. Dig and shred and tear and get to whatever kind of other small prey items they can get to. General size kind of gives that one away as well. Fun little test and quiz. So that kind of gives you an idea about the differences. Brown bear, the general term for all the bears in the same group. When you begin to break it out, grizzly bears, a little fluffier, you said. This is Curtis, by the way, if you forgot him already, with the Muppet. Give me the Muppet back.
Oh, well, you didn't ask for him back.
Man, I got a job to do.
You were holding claws.
Curtis is like, I'm done. Here, take it back. Yeah, I did have a job to do. I was the claw holder. So back to grizzly bears. You got grizzlies are the little fluffier. We said that they had the hump on their back. And what was one of the other things that you said?
The grizzlies tend to be a little bit
smaller. A little smaller, that's true. Color? Any difference between color?
Not really.
No? Okay.
All pretty brown. These guys tend to be a little bit lighter. They got the grizzled look to them.
Oh.
They're both brown.
Nice. Okay, so everybody has a brown. They're not like, you and I talked about the black bears a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they're black and they're blue and they're cinnamon and they're brown and they're white. Yeah. All kinds of different colors. You don't see that in the brown.
No, not these guys.
Good deal. All right, that makes sense. And so then you've got the Kodiak brown, which is massive, and then the brown bear kind of in the middle-ish and doing its own thing where it is. I love it. All right. Anything else you want to share about Tomo before we get even closer? Some really cool stuff you're going to share with us. Anything else you want to share?
I don't think so.
Awesome.
That's it.
Natalie's been hanging out with us too. And Natalie, anything else you want to share about the bear? Are we good?
I think you're good.
Natalie says we're good, so I think we're good. Don't go away. You're really going to want to see what's coming next.
Yeah, hopefully he'll wake up for us. Look, everyone.
I don't see him.
He's sleeping.
Sleeping. Hey, so this is kind of cool. We're in a kind of, I won't call it behind the scenes, because this is actually something that our guests, our personal guests, will be able to do eventually, kind of come up here. And Curtis is doing some training with Tomo bear. Look at this, guys. Check this out. Look how close we are. So, Curtis, you're going through some training behaviors with Tomo here.
Yes, I am.
Why would you do that? Why does the paw? Is there something behind that behavior? Or is that just so you can see what's going on?
So basically, it's just so we can take a good look at the paw there.
Okay.
So when he holds it up a little bit better, you can actually see the pads, and you can see if there's anything wrong with his pads.
Nice.
It also gives us access to his claws. So occasionally, we do have to trim his claws for him that way.
And you trim those?
We do actually.
Really?
Yeah, he'll stick them through if I can get him to pay attention again.
Yeah. Okay.
So he sticks them through like that, and we can actually take a couple of gardening shears or nippers, and we can trim them right across the bottom right there.
Really? You? No, Leslie, that's your job. Real? That's so cool. And he lets you do that. So that's voluntary behavior. You ask for the behavior, he does it, and he holds there while you guys are doing the work on his claws.
Exactly.
Oh, amazing. like me trying to stand up. Oh, I just can't quite do it.
Well, he's an old man now, so sometimes he struggles a little bit, but he still gets up.
How old is he again?
He is about to turn 31.
31 years old. That's so crazy. And that up behavior, is that just so you can kind of see him move a little bit, see his belly?
Yep. Exactly. So him getting up is we can see him stand and use those back legs a little bit more.
Okay.
And then we also get a good look at his underbelly right there. So we can see everything that we don't normally get to see when he's just moving around. Yeah, I know. You're adorable.
You are adorable, Tomo. You're like... Is this not the epitome of a teddy bear for digital guests? I mean, really? Well, she's like, of course it is.
He really does look like a giant teddy bear.
He does. But there's a reason there's a fence. Mm-hmm. There's a reason there's a barrier. He is still a bear. Not going any closer than where we are now. So you have hand signals for a lot of these behaviors?
Exactly. He doesn't want to do it now. He's been showing it off. Good boy.
And that is an open mouth behavior?
Yep, so that one's an open mouth. So I use my hand signal of open mouth.
Leslie.
He opens his mouth for us, and then we can look inside and see his teeth and his gums, his tongue, all that stuff right inside.
Will he hold it open, or is it kind of open and closed?
He'll hold it open for us, and he actually had a big lump inside a couple years ago, and that was how we discovered it, is by that behavior. He's hold it open, and then we could have our vets come down, and they took a look at it and decided that it wasn't something to worry about for a while, but eventually we needed to do something about it.
How cool is that, guys? You're going through these training behaviors, and all of them have some sort of veterinary purpose behind them. They're not all tricks, right? Now, they're fun for the keepers. They're fun for the animals, but there's a reason behind it. And while you're doing the open mouth behavior, able to look inside the mouth, they were able to see something and cut it off before something bad happens. Cut off the action to look at, see what's going to happen. They didn't go in and do anything in action in the moment, but they were able to see what's happening at that time. That is so cool. So the training idea, I love it, that there's so much more than quote-unquote just doing the training. There's a reason behind the behaviors you ask for.
Exactly.
I love it. That is so cool. Would you consider Tomo into training? It's just what he does? Or does he's like, you know what, let's do this. This is kind of cool. I want to get involved.
For the most part, he is really active in his training, but it does kind of fluctuate during the certain times of year. So usually this time of year, he's not too interested because he's very sleepy.
Well, sure. Yeah, we talked about that, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But most of the year, he does perform his behaviors, and he's really active and really enjoys training with us.
Let me ask you a real quick question. Mm-hmm. I know you're getting a little low there. Do the vets, we've seen the vets work with some of the other animals before. Do the vets rely on this type of behavior as well when they come up to do anything with Tomo?
Yeah, so there are a few behaviors that we will do with Tomo with the vets exclusively.
Oh, so there are, okay.
Yeah, so for example, inside our holding area, we have a little box that he sticks his paw into, and we can actually pull blood from the top of his paw.
Okay, so there's like a sleeve he puts his paw into?
Yeah, and so the vets can actually shave his paw, and then they can pull blood from a vein right on top of his paw there.
That is cool.
So there are a few behaviors like that. We also have him lean into the mesh so we can give him different injections.
Oh, he will do that? He'll take a voluntary shot?
Yes, he will.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I'll let you wrap up there, and we'll wrap up on this side. How neat, huh? So yeah, today, all about brown bears, grizzly bears, these bears here. We truly appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you appreciate learning kind of about some of the winter care that we provide for Tomo, the brown bear, and then seeing that training. I think anytime we get a chance to share that with you, I think it's important to do. It shows the bond, it shows the relationship, and it shows the trust that the animals and the keepers have developed over time. And realizing it helps with their health care. Fascinating information. So, from your Zoo Adventures team, again, Steve was in front of the camera today. Leslie was behind.
Hey, everybody.
It's always good to have Leslie around with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope to see you again soon. The zoo is open. Time to tickets, remember. Check the website for any other details that might be going on. And masks for the safety of you, us, and the animals as well. Stay safe. See you again soon. Bye.